How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. So my name is Brad Logston, and this is I'm not gonna say your name. You can say your name for yourself.
I'm Dan Blacksmith from the forums.
Dan Blacksmith Haddad.
Haddad.
See, I always forget to call you Blacksmith when I reference you on the forum. Everyone's confused.
Yep.
And this is our Devstream for Dungeon Defenders 2. Hopefully we're live and everything is streaming okay.
Mm-hmm.
Are we? They can hear us. That's good. Cool. All right. So I am hosting today because Phil is not here, and I'm gonna try to. I've only done this once before. Last time I did okay.
Well. Yeah,
did it?
Worked out okay. Yeah.
You were on that
Yeah,
one,
I
right?
was on that one.
It was fun.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we're gonna go through a number of cool things. I did get an awesome sheet of stuff that I'm supposed to surprise you guys with, but in typical producer fashion, I didn't pay attention to any of the things that I was told before we walked on the stream.
Nice.
So hopefully I don't blow it.
We'll figure it out.
We'll see what happens.
It'll work out.
If I blow it, at least it'll be entertaining. So I was told by Butters that the first thing I should tell everyone is that we've decided to turn DD2 back into a MOBA. That's announcement number 1, so everyone's going to be super excited about that, right?
No, I don't think so.
No? Okay.
Phil's gonna fire me.
Phil's going to fire Butters, and it's going to be great. No, that's not true. It's a complete joke, but I thought it'd be fun to say anyways.
Mhm.
And plus, now I win my bet with iPass Butter because he told me I couldn't do it. So cool. So we have a lot of cool stuff going on today. First off, we have a cool contest running, and everyone's saying they're excited about that.
Yeah. The MOBA returns.
It's not returning. Look at Josh. Josh is freaking out. This is great. I'm having fun already. Remember, iPass Butter said was it triple dog?
I triple dog dared
You
you.
triple
I actually
dog dare me.
quadruple dog dared you.
Yes, he quadruple dog dare me, and I don't. You don't see one thing you should. I don't really.
Some high school stuff, right?
I don't take to being gambled
There,
very.
yeah,
I
yeah.
step up to the challenge.
Yep, you do.
All right, so we have some cool giveaways we're doing today. We're going to be giving away, I believe, some Squire boxer accessories. I think we have a number of them that we're going to be giving away. I think we have an image that we're going to show about what these look like. I don't know if we're doing that or not, but that'd be awesome if we did. And as always, after the stream, there's the Casters Guild, the social tavern, where they're going to talk about hopefully all the crazy announcements we're making today, and you guys can discuss them and give us some feedback. So as normal, as the stream is going on, I'm going to do my best to kind of watch the questions and hopefully answer a couple of them or not.
Or not.
We'll see.
We'll see what happens.
And yeah, how you doing today, Dan?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm okay.
You're okay?
It's Friday,
Yeah, it is Friday.
so which means it's going to just be a busy weekend.
Yeah, that's it. Which means more work to do.
Yeah, we usually have a pretty loaded. Everyone's already posting. We have a pretty loaded weekend trying to get ready for this patch next week. So, first start we have. Let's see what's on this sheet here. So yeah, we're talking about. We have this cool event that's been running for I think about a week now, right?
Yeah, it's been about a week now.
Yeah.
Basically, all your pets will hatch within 1 second.
All your pets are belong to everyone.
Yeah, all the eggs will hatch within 1 second. It's been going on for about a week now. We're probably going to leave it in over the weekend, and we're going to announce later on what we're going to do with it.
Yeah, I thought we were. So I believe it was weird because in our discussion in our meeting we had about this event, we said it was going to run for about 2 weeks, and now I'm hearing it was a week or maybe a week and a half. So we sometimes get confused, but I think we're going to run it for a couple more another week or so, and then we'll figure out what to do next, right?
We'll see what we do next. Yeah.
What do you guys think of it so far? Have you guys enjoyed it? Has it been fun? And now you have to wait for the
For the
delay.
launch.
Yeah, they'll tell us eventually.
Mhm.
So cool. I've seen actually it's a lot of fun just kind of
Hatching your
the
pets,
pets.
yeah.
Cool. So the first, how much has DD2 changed from DD1? It's a first-person shooter now.
Slash MOBA.
/MOBA/ mobile match 3. No, it's actually Dan. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how it's changed?
There's a bunch of key differences. It's still a tower defense action role-playing game. There's still loot in there. You see the first 4 heroes are all grown up now. One of the big differences, obviously, that you'll first immediately notice if you're watching Butter play, we split the mana pools, so now you don't really need to care about, maybe you don't want to use your abilities as a hero just because you want to save up some of that mana. You don't really potentially need to care about that. Obviously, kind of the defenses, the way the lineup of defenses for the heroes are different. So there's a good deal that's different, but it's still kind of the same underlying game underneath.
Yeah, and we're honestly, it's it's been a lot of fun whenever we've, now that it's been out for a little while, getting commentary, because we get a lot of, reviews on Steam talking about, man, it's so much fun. It's like, I'm really excited about playing this game. And now that it's out on PS4, we're getting a lot of PS4 people. Also, like, PS4 hype who on the stream is a PS4 player. I actually was watching this cool stream, because PS4 has that Twitch streaming feature, and so you can just do it. And there was a couple, I don't know if they were husband, wife, or girlfriend, boyfriend, or whatever. They were streaming last night, and I just kind of hung out with them for a little while, and it was funny because she was enhancing, and the guy was getting really impatient. He's like, "Can you please stop?" And then she stopped, and he's like, "No, wait!" And then walked back to her enhancing again. He's like, "Ah!" I was yelling at her, and it was pretty hilarious. That was fun. I promise you, split screen and controller support is coming to PC down the road, so you're going to get that for sure. All right, so. I literally laughed out loud at my sarcastic FPS comment. I think a first-person shooter.
It's not sarcasm.
No. Okay. Yeah, I pressed
I'm testing it right now.
All right. Cool. So let's get into our first reveal before I completely derail all the stream. People like the PS4 version too. That's good. And by the way, we're not even done yet.
No, we're far from done.
Not even
It's
close.
even like a few milestones behind.
Man, right?
Yep.
I just got back from everyone can see my awesome Twitch sweater thingy that I'm wearing. We were at TwitchCon. Me and Phil were at TwitchCon this last week, and we were doing a press tour before then, talking to people about the PS4.
Yeah.
And it was like, to us, it feels like the Stone Age.
Yeah,
like going back to that old war table.
Yeah. It is a different matchmaking system. The loot is different. It feels old, but I think it's very refreshing. Like, I got to play it last week on the stream. It's kind of refreshing playing it on a controller. Sitting on the couch with Alex was a little fun. Carrying him through some stuff was fun. So
Yes.
Cool.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And it's funny, like it's like the third or fourth iteration of our PS4 controls, and I actually really like the way it feels right now.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm going to comment right now. Viral Downfall was one of the PS4 streamers I watched on Wednesday, and he had this. You should, Dan. It was freaking. It was awesome. So he's sitting there. I'm gonna put the mouse down. He's sitting there playing. I think he was playing the Huntress or the Apprentice, and this kobold just lights his wicks and starts chasing after him. He's like, "Oh God, oh God!" And he's running backwards, and the whole time he's trying to kill, but it takes him 10 shots, so it's just chasing after him. He's like, "Brad, you're putting these kobolds in there for me, aren't you?" And he gets hit and dies a couple times, and oh my God, it was so much fun to watch. It was a really entertaining stream.
Mm-hmm.
So that was I love those moments. You see the tears streaming. Come on, I get you. It was great. So there you go. You got your shout out. I promise if you join the stream, I'd say something. Okay, cool. So first reveal, and some of the things I think maybe this isn't public. All I know, we're revealing our Ascension patch series. This is new.
Mm-hmm.
We have a series of patches.
We have a series of patches.
It's like a bundle
Yep.
of patches, or what's another collection of things?
cluster.
A cluster of patches. What's a Google of geese? Is that right?
A gaggle.
A gaggle. It's a gaggle of patches, if you will. We have a gaggle of patches coming up called Ascension. It's actually going to be in 2 pieces.
Mm-hmm.
I believe we're going to show some key art for that. Part 1 is going live next week actually it's going to be next week on Wednesday is our target right now. Obviously that may change to earlier or later a day or so based on how we're kind of finishing things up. But that's a really, really exciting patch. Dan, why don't you tell a couple things about what's in that first patch?
There's a great deal that we've kind of been announcing, we've kind of been showing it for a while. Defenses obviously are going to feel larger. They're going to potentially do more damage initially. They're going to have larger footprints. We added the new SAS system, which is the stat allocation system. Maybe Butter can switch over to his stat screen. Maybe we can kind of show them that super quick. The stat screen over there. Yeah, you can see there, you can actually invest points into the different stats that you want. As you level up, you'll gain more points. We also added, you might notice if you've been watching the Butter play, there's a lot of different weapon variety. There's different
all the weapon variety.
Yeah, range weapons, fire like lobs, multiple shots, shotguns, things along
And
those
all
lines.
of them are perfectly balanced with no flaws, no potential. Like we were just talking about how great our new stun lock, infinite stun lock system is that we're trying to hopefully fix before we patch.
Yeah.
No problems with them at all, though.
As usual, it's going to be, we're still in early access, so a lot of things are going to be a little rough around the edges, but eventually we'll iron them out.
You need to get us in trouble.
Yep. And we also, I think, have a bunch of new skins coming out this time. One of probably my favorite Squire skins is coming out this time, so I won't say it yet. I think we'll show them the video.
I think we show it later on, yeah. So that's the one that's coming out next week, and we jammed quite a bit of this in the last minute, you know, for us at least. We had a lot of feedback coming in about wanting to add more equity to players as they leveled up. And we're like, you know what, like let's just, it's crazy, and maybe we shouldn't, but you know what, forget it, like gamble, let's do it. And so we really pushed and tried to get this awesome, we call it SAS.
SAS, that allocation system.
Yeah, and it's been Dan's brainchild that he's been working on for a couple weeks now, and it's a lot of fun. So you guys are getting a chance to play that on Wednesday. Some of these things are experimental for us.
Mm-hmm.
So a good comment about that is we made the tower sizes.
Mm-hmm.
We changed the tower size, and honestly, we don't know if this is going to be a positive or a negative. We know some people like it. We know some people don't. The tests that we've done. So we wanted to get it out there. We're calling it an experiment, and then we'll kind of adjust based on your guys' feedback. We may remove it completely. We may change some of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, why don't you talk a little bit about why we're calling this an experiment and what we're kind of concerned about when it comes to people's reactions to this thing.
Mm-hmm. So, well, it wasn't something clarified. Kind of wasn't my brainchild. A lot of us kind of wanted to push these changes in. The biggest thing to note is that it's
sorry, everyone's got. So, am I a sarcastic person?
not always.
Not
Sometimes.
always. Sometimes I get sarcastic on the streams. Everyone's commenting about how the sarcasm is strong on the stream. It's like my special power.
Probably. Maybe
like
on camera you're just super sarcastic.
It's probably true. Or maybe I get sarcastic on Fridays.
Maybe.
On Friday, it's just like the end of the week, and you're like, no. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
No
off.
problem.
Go ahead.
So experimental, something to pay attention to this time around. We're actually releasing things that we're not entirely sure if we want to keep or not. That's what we're calling kind of experimental stuff. Bigger towers, to an extent, are experimental. Something that's really heavily experimental right now is the trap clustering. You can't cluster them as well as you used to before, but they deal more damage, and their area, the explosive area, is super high right now. So those two things, you know, if you don't like it, don't freak out about it. Just hop on the forums, let us know what you think. These things may change, they may not change. We want to kind of see.
Don't freak out. Dan, he said it. Blacksmith that's his design for the new patch. His design is non-freaking out.
Non-freaking out. We need your feedback. We kind of rely a lot on it. That's why we're in early access.
And this is for science, right? Someone was saying for science.
Yeah,
we should put that in the patch notes. We should experiment for science.
For science.
And then we'll see.
The number of times I say for science internally.
Gary the cool guy is freaking already out, and he hasn't even gotten the patch yet. So I mean, we're ahead of the curve.
Yes. Other things to kind of talk about. We added more enemies. You know, I talked a little bit about that last time. The fantasy of Dungeon Defenders is a few things fighting a lot of things, and early on in the campaign it didn't really feel that way. You'd see maybe a handful of enemies and it didn't really feel that cool, so we really wanted to boost that up as well. That one is less experimental. That one we feel pretty good about it because it feels satisfying, but yeah. Obviously the weapon variety stuff is not necessarily experimental, but there's a lot that might be potentially not great about it that will eventually iron out and fix. But yeah,
I think the enemies thing is going to be a really cool thing because it's funny. Like you play the game in the later stages, like if you're in end game, and like, you get a lot of enemies coming out, and like it feels really really good. But we play there all the time, so that's kind of what we're normal and used to. You go and see like I watched a streamer yesterday who was playing at the very beginning, and by the way, he was having fun. Like he played the game for about 2 or 3 hours straight, seemed to have a blast. But I'm watching and going, man, it's just not. There's not a lot of enemies coming out. You kind of just like see 4 or 5, and I'm really excited to see how that beginning feels more rewarding. Just when you're like, oh, there's the hordes coming, and I can deal with them. That'll be cool.
Also, the stat allocation system is also somewhat experimental. We'll see kind of how the reaction goes on that one as well.
Someone's asking, please give me a release date at the end of this. I don't know what War Hero. What release date? Maybe I missed something.
You
You
want
patch.
to know about PS4 EU release date?
Oh yes, please, dear God, I would like one too. We're working on that, and I swear to you, I just was talking to Tim Shannon, who's our associate producer in charge of the PS4 SKU. I'm trying to get some more clarity on when that's coming to the European territories. It's you can't even imagine the meetings we've had this last week. We're doing everything we can to get that to you guys as soon as we can. Trust me. So we're talking right now about part 1 of Ascension, and part 1 of Ascension should be a lot of fun. But Ascension is 2 parts. So we also have part 2 that's coming up. And part 2 right now is scheduled for, and again, this can move. So when I say this, and you quote me about it in 2 weeks when it's moved a little bit, remember the caveat that it may change. But right now it's scheduled for October 27th, so in about 3-ish weeks, 4 weeks. And there's a whole bunch of cool stuff in part 2, and I think we're going to save that and talk about it. My paper, my schedule, my script tells me we're going to talk about that a little bit later on the stream.
Yeah, there's still a kind of good bit of stuff. We didn't even show them kind of the reel yet. that kind of highlights all the stuff in part 1. Something to note as well, as part of the stat allocation system, we completely redid the small skill spheres. There used to be just stat gains. Now we took that and shoved it into the stat allocation system. Now, smalls are going to be all about, potentially defense range and things along those lines that you can adjust and augment. There's potentially going to be a new Huntress build that we kind of announced a while back, so you'll be able to play around with that. Obviously, there's a new monthly pet, the Bear Kira.
Bear Kira. Oh, look at it.
Butter's favorite.
He's freaking. Everyone's freaking out. That was like Crazy Polar Bear when I was talking about the meetings. He said, I would love to be in those meetings. I promise you, after about like a month, you never want to be in any meetings. You love meetings, don't you, Dan?
No.
Meetings are Dan's favorite thing. No, you don't want to be in the meetings.
Too many meetings.
All the meetings. Cool. So, let's see. I'm going through my script like a good producer should. And so we talked a little bit about the weapon variety stuff. Why weapon variety, Dan?
Well, weapon variety was a big thing in kind of DD1. We all kind of remember all the different rage weapons you can potentially get, and the fun that you can have. Just you find a weapon, it's completely different. It kind of changes the way you play on a mid-to-mid basis. And we've been wanting to actually do weapon variety for about 2 years now on DD2, and we finally decided now's the time to cram it in there. And we decided let's start off with some shotgun some shotgun weapons, some spreads. Legendary weapons, some of them will have very unique patterns. Like I think you might have seen Butter fire that bow. Where it goes into an eagle formation and all the bullets kind of home in on the target.
Yeah, the eagle bow is the thing.
And we didn't leave out melee. Melee now there's like, we call it, we don't really have a specific term for them. Maybe stances might make sense, where there's weapons that are super fast and they attack in a different way, and there's some that are medium and some that are very heavy and lumbering but hit harder.
Yeah.
And all of them can roll with varying attack speeds as well. So
it's been tricky for us. It's actually, I feel bad right now, and I'm sure some of our animators are watching us. Those guys, by the way, they're beasts. They're actually gonna have to work some, or they're working some this weekend because we found some issues with the way we've set the animations for the melee system. They're having to go in and revamp it yet again to try to get it to feel right. One of the challenges we've had, and one of the reasons why we didn't launch with these features is because a lot of you noticed that in DD1, you had that lawnmower effect. You just kind of stood there and swung your sword, but your character didn't move, and it made the attacks not really feel very connected. Yep. But it also made it a lot easier to ramp up things like speed. Now we have that motion. It's called root motion in the game. Messing with speed means that you have to, in a technical term, the server has to translate how much the player is moving whenever they attack. So when you start mucking with speed, you start mucking with how the server has to tell all the different clients how much the characters are moving, and that can get really, really tricky when mucking with speed. So as we have the 3 different animation kind of stances, and we're trying to create that range of speed inside each of those different animations. And we don't know if it's going to be exactly all we want when it first goes out on the next week on Wednesday. We're really looking forward to you guys giving us some notes and us kind of messing with it and trying to get it better. But my favorite moment, I played DD1. I played DD1 as a squire. That was a hero that I passed through, and I remember playing through and getting all the different things. And I got that freaking the chainsaw.
Yeah.
I told you, he's heard the story before.
A lot about the chainsaw
because it was such a moment, right? Like you get it and it moves super fast, and you're like, "Holy crap, this is crazy!" It's like it was just so rewarding. So we want to start working towards creating those kind of moments where you're like, pick that weapon up and you swing it once, and you're like,
wow,
"What the hell is this thing?" That's going to be fun. So whether we're going to have that on Wednesday or not, you tell us, but we're going to work towards that. That's our goal. Cool. So moving on, I know you talked a little bit about this before, but I think Butters in his Vanna White awesomeness, right, with your blonde hair, right, is going to show up. No blonde hair. Butters is not blonde. He's going to show off some of the cool style allocation things. Dan, why don't you talk through some of the different examples that he's going to show us? By the way, can't you shift click to do that faster?
He could. I think he's showing them the
the
slow
changes.
way to do it.
Cool, the slow way.
Basically,
and steady versus fast and just done.
As you level up, you'll be able to gain now points that you can invest in a handful of the stats that you see on the screen over there. And I think by level 50, you'll have about 380 points you can spend. So there's a great deal that you can do. We did a bunch of changes to the heroes' base stat values, so they'll potentially be weaker unless you dump points into things. But the main theme here is if you, for example, spend points in hero damage and you make your hero all about hero damage, you're actually substantially more powerful than you used to be before the update. Same thing with like being tanky, same thing with ability power and things along those lines. So we also added something you might have noticed. There's a small category for defense range. So you can even augment the range of your defenses. Butter's switching to show that now. All the way at the bottom left there, you see the defense range.
Do it.
Mm-hmm.
Do
He
it.
has it already maxed out, I think.
I maxed it out, don't worry.
Yeah, that's probably the thing that everyone's going to max out first. You can even see defense attack speed is also up there. You can invest a good deal of points in that too. So that's the gist of it. Obviously, this is a first pass at it. Also kind of experimental. We'll see what the results from it. We want to get this in your hands as soon as possible and kind of start gathering feedback and see how you feel about it.
Yep, and it's interesting. I think that players of all tiers of the game, whether it be new players or level 50, Nightmare 1 or 2 or whatever players are going to have a lot of fun messing with this system. But this system is really more aimed at when players first kind of get rolling in the game, right? Is that kind of where it's focused around?
It's more, it is kind of aimed around the early game. Obviously, for example, as you spend points in defense power, you'll feel that a lot more pronounced early game. But even towards end game, like I said, if you invest in a certain stat, you're going to be able to hit numbers that are far higher than you used to before. So
Right.
It should even help people who are kind of playing through Nightmare right now.
I was actually talking to Levi, one of our QAs earlier, and he was saying he's actually already kind of screwing with max points in certain areas and messing with it to kind of figure out what kind of cool builds you can do. So I'm expecting that, within 5 hours of this thing going up, the community's going to find 3 different ways that max points break everything. And then we'll go and figure out why and fix it. That'll be fun. But you know what? I like that kind of stuff.
Yep.
I think it's fun to go out there and
Back
just
and
see what
forth.
people figure out. Yeah, it's a back and forth relationship, and that's cool. So, moving right along, we have a new build.
We do have a new build.
I
We announced
believe.
that. Yeah, we talked about.
It's not in this.
Yeah.
No!
It's not in this build. Sorry.
Come on,
It's
I
fine.
pass butter.
Uh,
I pass butter, pass the build.
Yeah.
Away from the build.
If I
Yeah.
had feelings, they would be hurt right now.
Unfortunately, we couldn't show it to you today. But basically, the gist of it is it takes the Huntress's poison dart.
I am
power.
sure you will, Syndicate. Is that Syndicate? Is that how you pronounce your
Yeah, that's
weird amalgamation of lower and upper and number and whatever the heck?
Yeah.
Yeah, Syndicate. Yeah, you will. And
Uh,
then it'll make Dan cry, and then he'll fix it.
Yeah, we'll fix it. So, spoiler alert, you're seeing the cool skin that we're about to talk about. But anyway, so the Huntress build is all about the poison dart tower. It turns it into a kind of pseudo blockade. It gets to, it gets increased range, it gets to fire a lot faster, it gets to spread that poison dot everywhere. And whenever a target dies that has the dot on it, it'll explode and deal poison damage in the area around it and add an extra.
Sorry,
an
you can't see
extra.
the chat.
Yeah, it'll add an extra stack of the poison dot.
Yeah, it's actually really cool that the Huntress gets kind of a tanky, the barricade-y type tower. It's gonna be fun. I want to say, everyone, I think they saw that really fast. And are we previewing that skin on this stream?
We are, yeah.
We
We're showing
are.
that later.
No, that one, yeah. So Butters kind of let the cat out of the bag. I'm not going to repeat
Sorry.
which one it was.
Do you guys want me to go
But
back?
no.
Save-
That
save
was
it for
enough of
the-
a tease. We'll show it later.
Save
But
it for the video.
the first time I saw that concept art, I freaked out.
I have a new favorite skin.
Out.
Oh, yeah, there both.
So yeah, we'll show it a little bit later.
Mhm.
Yeah. So the Huntress thing is pretty awesome.
Mhm.
So we also have a new pet.
We do
I
have a
know,
pet, a monthly
Butter
pet.
loves the pet.
Bear Kia is a fantastic looking pet.
Yeah! Kill!
That giant bear thing is so creepy.
Yeah, that was Phil Littman and I. We sat down and were trying to figure out what cool ability could we give him. And he's such a cool looking character, so we had to involve his image in there somewhere in his ability.
Plus one of the best movies ever.
I just want to
Good-
comment.
good movie.
I know I'm changing topics a little bit. Someone up top mentioned something about their PS4 crashing. So I want to comment on that. We actually did have a random crash that we were trying to get out of the build right before we submitted, and we thought we fixed it. We actually have not had crash reports recently, so it's very curious if you're running into one. It's an early access game, just like the PC is, which is different for console. I believe we're the first console, whether on Xbox or PS4 or anything, we're the first console early access title. So we're kind of figuring out how that works, and it's really good to get that information from you. If you can go to our forums and post any details on what you're seeing those crashes around, that can be very helpful in us trying to track them down and fix them. I know right now we're working on our first hot fix for PS4. We're not exactly sure what the timeline is. We're trying to work with somebody to figure out when that's going to come out with a couple fixes. Stability obviously is a very big important thing for us. We put a lot of time on that on the PC, and we actually spent a lot of time on the PS4 in the last couple weeks. So please please post any information you have. It's a little bit more difficult for us to find and communicate with our PS4 fans sometimes. We're not necessarily always going on the forums, and I hope that you go in and post us some information so we can get those things fixed fast.
Yep.
So, is there anything else you want to say about Barakira?
Barakira, he's fantastic.
That's
Also, they want to know about barricades, Brad.
Barricades.
Barricades.
And barrows.
Barrows and barricades.
The
One
barrows. Oh, did I tell them the barrow story?
Yeah.
I did, didn't I?
You
Oh.
did.
Do you see the face palm?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's probably gonna have to happen one day. Maybe.
It would be a cool skin.
Yeah. But the barricade.
Defense skin, yeah.
I think
Yeah.
barricade would be really dope.
Someone was talking about
Like
making
a
a new
mountain man
hero
with
where, like,
stars.
yeah, a mountain man, and all of his traps are like
Mhm.
animals that are his friends that are
Mhm.
helping defend things. And you have this big, like, giant bear that's just raw, and you can't get past of it. The problem is what happens when the bear. When it goes, like when the barricade, you know what probably happens?
He just leaves,
Just-
turns
yeah,
around.
like
He just-
the thing breaks and he's just like, "Grrr," and just jumps and disappears.
Very slowly, like he doesn't care. He's like, all right, I'm out.
That's right, and then so then the person with that will have like the Barakira pet and the barricade and his barrows.
We like
and-
bears for some reason.
I don't know. Everyone like according to the Daily Show. No, not the Daily Show. Colbert Report.
Mhm.
Bears are the number one. What was it like the number one American, whatever? Like the number one thing that's like a threat to America. Number one threat to America is bears. Remember that old sketch? No one watched Colbert Report back like 6 years. Okay, I'm old, I guess. All right, so the next thing up on hopefully someone on the stream will rescue me and remembers bears, like when Colbert used to freak out about it. So the next thing we're talking about is the skin that we showed for a second before,
Mhm.
and it
And
is
now we
the
can actually show
now you
it.
can actually show it.
It is
Which
the
one?
Valhalla Knight skin for the Squire.
Watch the rainbow when he comes
Watch
down.
the spawn.
Oh.
And a Nexus. He's making fun of my stumbling talk. The America whatever.
Yeah, there it goes. It's a fantastic looking skin. It's my favorite Squire skin right now.
Dude.
It's a
Oh, it's
really
the
good
best
Squire
fire
skin.
skin
Dude.
by far.
It has a custom heal. You want to show maybe? Can you show the heal? Can you damage yourself somehow?
No.
Spawn an orc.
Don't
And-
spawn
I'm
an
not
orc.
gonna spawn an orc.
You're going to get him in
Freak
trouble.
out.
People will freak out. That's true.
You should go into a match, right? Go into a match with him and then like just pwned.
Oh wait, we are going to show the reel later, right? So it should have that there. I guess I'll show
Yeah,
it
but you
there.
can do it now, right? I mean, you can just go in. and
You
do
can
it.
kill yourself too and show them the depth. The depth is.
Oh yeah, hit L. Hit L. Do it. Oh. Oh, the power of rainbow compels me.
Oh, he doesn't even really die.
No, it just chills there for a
I
while.
No, the Norse gods don't die.
Then he comes back.
They
like
teleport to Valhalla.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Cool. Spawn it. Do it.
it. They all want me to. Just a bunch of trolls.
Hey, someone wants you to spawn Betsy in the tavern. None of our devs have ever done that
We're
before,
gonna do
right?
that, Kappa.
Has anyone ever done that before? Come on.
Collins has.
Collins certainly has. Was it Collins that was trying to get away to walk around the tavern as Betsy at one point in time? Yeah. Cool. So that's the Valhalla Knight skin,
Mhm.
and hopefully later on, Pass Better will jump in and you can see the cool healing effect. The healing effect is actually really nifty. And the last one.
Very aggressive healing.
Yeah,
Ready
yeah,
for
yeah.
the best skin though, y'all?
Wait, no,
No, yeah,
come on,
Alright.
come on.
Close
We
one.
can't give all the awesome all at once. Like their just heads will explode in rainbows and darkness and all this kind of craziness. All right, we don't want anyone exploding on the stream. That'd be bad. So let's go into the last one we're talking about in this run, and that's the premium pet,
There's a new
which is
premium
the
pet
headless horseman.
themed around our lovely Halloween. That's coming up soon. And yeah, I think they'll be able to see that also in the
They
video
do-
reel.
they will see it in the
Wait,
video.
is that Collins?
Yeah,
It's not.
I most certainly did not spawn Betsy anywhere.
Yep.
Yeah,
Lies.
whatever. Lies. I'm pretty sure. Lies.
Yep. I think we're about ready to actually show the video now.
Yeah, we gotta show the pet first.
Yeah, we're
Come
gonna show
on.
the pet
No,
in,
the pet
in the
is
video.
the pet is in the video.
Oh, the pet's in the
That was
video?
the pet is in
Yep.
the
Oh man.
So yeah, let's
Why
show
can't we
them.
show the pet on the?
Okay,
Okay, I'm not gonna challenge the reasons for why or why.
Mhm.
So we have a cool video that's gonna show you a whole bunch of fun stuff about what we're doing. Is the video gonna have audio? Should we talk during it? Can we? Yes, it
It's
will.
gonna have a-
It does have a.
So I will not talk during the video, and after that we'll come back and you guys will all freak out, and then we'll talk about what you're freaking out about.
Mhm.
So let's just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Oh.
Part 1. Oh, there's yours, part 2.
Hey guys, I'm PM Masher,
I'm Danny Arroyo.
and we're here to tell you about our new patch, Ascension. So this is our first ever 2-part patch,
Part 1 being all about getting stronger and being way more powerful.
and just ascending. And first thing that ascends in this patch is your tower.
Your towers get
Huge.
so much bigger.
Ginormous. It's
so
crazy.
cool.
Their towers are bigger and more powerful. And I just caveat, guys, this is an
if you guys
experiment.
like the video,
so
can I
we're
get a
gonna see
hashtag
how you feel about it.
format?
We want everyone's feedback.
Which you'll obviously like.
But we think it's really exciting. This is to fortify the tower defense dependency of the game. So we've also increased the number of enemies. So now it's like you and your towers that are actually tower size, just
Tearing
decimating-
through tons of enemies.
tearing them apart.
Yeah.
In addition to that, we've also added made your weapons more powerful.
That's right. We have awesome new ranged weapon spreads and new attack patterns for melee, light, medium, and heavy.
And this is super cool. There's variations in attack speed between them. It really gives you a lot of choice here. In addition to that, we also have the kind of biggest change that's coming along with this patch, which is
Stats allocation.
Stats,
You
yes.
finally choose how you want to level up and be more specific about your kind of build.
And oh man, it just feels so good when you put those points into range.
It does.
Those points in skill spheres. In addition to that, we also have a new Huntress build in the game. This is based around defense health for your poison dart blockade.
Now, the animation enthusiasts out there, especially those of you who like Snoopy, will be really happy to see our new pet, the Bear Kira.
And Danny just lost every single person watching.
Who doesn't-
in addition to the new pet, there is also the Valhalla Knight. Just look at that rainbow.
It's awesome.
Spectacular.
True.
There's a
Norse
ton
god.
of other stuff in the first part of the patch.
Yep.
Headless Horseman, premium pet, daily mission changes, partial controller support. We've taken a surgeon's knife to Valley and just sliced
Clean
out
that
that
up.
building in the middle so you can see
Oh, sure.
and a lot more. But what's even
Make
more
it
exciting
less,
is part 2.
Part 2
No.
has, I think, our biggest announcement, which
It
is
is.
in first
Wait,
time
wait,
in.
wait. So on the way to part 2,
Oh.
first we have a first set of our limited edition skins. It is going to be 4 skeleton skins, 1 for each hero. These are really exciting.
Yep.
Not allowed in China.
But
And then after that,
But speaking of skeleton skins, we haven't had a new map in some time, I think, right?
That's right. So this part 2 has 2 new spooky themed maps. There's new incursions on them. There's cool mini bosses, and there are 4 new hero builds that are all spookily themed that
That's
you'll
right.
be able to get on them.
That's right. And speaking of spooky themes, the Apprentice has gone over to the dark side with this new
He
skin.
really has, hasn't he? I
Yeah.
didn't think about it. He just
Yeah,
gave.
boy.
He heard about something happening in December and he just gave in.
Yeah.
Anyways, the thing in December
That's the hotness
is
right there.
related to
That's
our
what I
game.
want.
He had to get more
Right.
powerful for this new thing that's coming out.
We can't
But
specify.
anyways, thanks guys for watching. Be aware there'll be bugs and usual when the patch comes out. We're really excited getting into
Maybe or maybe
see
it was
what
not
you
an
think.
axe.
Thanks, guys.
Boom! Just you know what? I'm just
Yeah.
gonna throw the mic on the ground and just walk out the door, and you guys can
We
just
don't even need to do that.
just talk about that for a little while. Just let it.
amongst yourselves.
Yeah.
A
So
lot to talk about.
yeah. So yeah, head exploding. We figured you guys would probably enjoy that. Yeah. So a couple things. We haven't released a map in a while.
We
We've
haven't
been busy. Well, we've been
keeping our heads down.
going to the
you know,
beach,
chilling.
sitting on
Relaxing.
drinking mojitos or whatever with a little drink, little
Not doing any
umbrellas.
works.
Yeah, no, but we haven't done a map in a little while, so we have a couple of them saved up, and we're releasing them as part of an October 27th patch. So that map will not be coming out on Wednesday. The map still has some work to do. We're
That's
not
the
done
part
with it
2
yet.
that we're talking
Yes,
about.
that's part 2. That's Ascension part 2. So you'll see that map on right now scheduled for October 27th. And man, there's some cool stuff happening
Oh,
around
yeah.
that map.
Yeah.
Tell us about it, Dan.
So we're kind of planning to do a kind of spooky Halloween event. There's going to be this cool incursion with a bunch of mini bosses. There's some like mini, like not a very heavy story, but some things going on these maps, and you guys have to kind of jump in there and help fight back whatever is happening on those maps. We'll reveal more details in the coming potentially few weeks. Obviously, you saw the weapons, you saw the builds. You'll be able to earn these 4 build items as well, which looks super cool. Yes,
That you've
one
already
of them-
made?
No, we haven't. One of which is an X.
Oh, man.
And yeah, I mean that's kind of just of it. Obviously, you saw skeleton skins, and those are pretty cool.
Yeah. That was I think Dan Pinkston's brainchild, right? Yeah, one of our senior 3D artists, character artists. Yeah,
And
it's like let's just make them skeletons. And everyone goes, why haven't we not done that already?
skeletons.
Skeleton.
We call
What?
it skeletons.
Ske-
Skeleton skins.
What?
That's the
Really?
internal.
Skeletons?
Really?
Are we?
Skeletons.
Skeletons? Are we that clever?
We are that clever.
I don't think we're
Super
that clever.
witty.
I don't think clever is.
You know, we really need to get someone that's actually funny.
I
on
keep
these
telling you, you
things.
should not let me do the naming for things,
No,
but
well-
that's how you end up with sass and
Skeletons.
and builds and things along those
Yes,
lines.
the build. Wait a second though. I've been telling you to rename builds. For
I mean,
like,
I've been saying from the
I
get go,
tried
I
to
should
rename builds to focuses, and
that didn't work.
Yeah,
No,
it was-
that's not a good name.
yeah.
I'm not trying to be mean. That's a bad name too.
Yeah.
Nice try there. Hey, look, the Syndicate or whatever is spelled Skelly Skins.
Yeah, there
Nice
you go.
Skelly
Skelly
Skins.
Skins, not
Skelly
that
Skins.
bad. Not that
Nah, it's not that bad. Yeah, so it's pretty exciting.
It's pretty exciting, and the Dark Arts Apprentice that
Dude,
you guys
ready?
saw.
Dude, yeah,
Oh,
do it,
yes,
do
it's
it.
time.
Just make it happen.
It's time.
It's time to make this happen.
Yeah, that's my boy. Right
When
there.
this thing, as a gamer, so I often play mage classes, and when I saw that skin, even in concept phase, I was going, all the things. Like, I want this so bad. It looks so freaking cool.
Tickles the little emo inside us all, I think.
Man, look at that though. Freaking his arm is on fire. Like,
Blue fire.
Jesus.
Blue fire.
That's
he has
pretty
the
cool.
blue flame upgrade right there.
He does. You know, and then it's fun for us because we're gonna do this thing as kind of a cool special event. So you're gonna have for kind of a Halloween 2 or 3 weeks. The maps are gonna be their own cool little playlist.
Mhm.
You're gonna play them in a very unique way. There's gonna be this mini boss that's gonna spawn.
Mini bosses.
You need to have a lot of fun playing that. It's gonna feel kind of like the lighter bosses from DD1. You know, you have like the big bosses, kind of like our
Yeah.
Betsy with the dragon at the end of DD1. But you also had like those the mech.
The Goblin Mech.
Goblin Mech, who
Yeah.
you kind of
Even
walk
kind of the
around.
first time you met the ogre as well in DD1, it was kind of like a small boss encounter.
Yeah.
So that's the sort of boss encounter we're building. It's not going to be a Betsy. We didn't want to have something that big for a small Halloween event. That
Yep.
and yeah, we'll take it from there.
Yep, and then after that's done, we will move them into free play and endgame. So the fun thing is they're actually not going to be in campaign in the beginning, and the reason why is there's other content around the spooky maps that kind of tie into lore, and we're not done with all that yet. So we're gonna,
There's a deeper story around those maps that we're not revealing yet, and when we actually release that bit, you'll actually get that in the campaign
Yep.
and all that lovely stuff.
It's also important to note that these skins that we're creating, the skeleton skins. This is a 2015 Halloween exclusive. So some of this content is going to be available for about 3 weeks. I think it turns on in mid-October, and it's going to be available for 3 weeks, and then they're
Break
gone.
it out.
They're never coming back.
Mhm.
We're going to retire them forever. We'll do something different next year, and we're going to get into the habit of creating these really exciting things that you can get for a limited time. So if you're not involved with DD2 yet and you want to get involved, you should get them. PS4 users, we're going to find a way to let you guys have access to these sometime a little bit later
Yeah.
because the PS4 bill is a little
It's
behind.
quite a few months behind.
Yep. But for the PC players, this is your chance to get this content. They'll be available for those 3 weeks, and then we'll retire them. And if you got them, you can show off that you have that cool 2015 skin. And if you didn't, you're going to be, jealous of the people. So that'll be a lot of fun, and that's going to be coming up later this month. So October's going to be a big month for us.
Yeah.
We got a lot of cool stuff
A
coming
lot
up.
of cool things coming in. A lot of work to do.
Yeah, no.
It'll be great.
It'll be great. Yeah. So I guess there's one. Let's see. Do we have any questions? Oh, someone asked if we're devs. Actually, I just walked in
Yeah.
and walked in here and
He's super
said,
charismatic on
Yeah.
the streets, and we said, you know what, we need someone to help.
It was the beard. Honestly, you saw me and you were like, dude.
It was the purple sweatshirt.
It was the purple.
Purple sweatshirt.
Yeah, they're like, no. So my name is Brad Logston. I'm the senior producer on Dungeon Defenders 2.
And I'm Daniel Blacksmith on the forums, and I'm one of the creative directors here, mostly work on the design team, on
Yep.
the design side of things.
So for all of our new fans who are just joining us for the first time, that's who we are. You'll see us both post on the forums quite a bit, just trying to communicate and talk with you guys. And often I try to bounce on Twitch streams once every couple of days or so. So if you Twitch stream DD2, usually during my lunch break, and sometimes for dinner at home when I get home at night, I'll jump on and talk to some
Watch,
streamers.
yeah.
So yeah. So the next big, how are we doing on time?
We still have a lot of questions for you to answer.
Yeah, we get into the questions soon. So let's finish these last announces. We have one more really big announce that we want to talk about, and this is huge for us. because people would notice that the game has been going through different stages. It's been Vira Downfall talked about how I do jump into streams and talk to people. Especially guys who are terrorized by the kobolds. That I'm sitting in my little master. I have this big master control panel in my office, and I just type in someone's name into their game and just go +5 kobolds, and then just laugh and cackle at myself. So the big announcement we have right now. Do you want to say it? Should I say it?
You should say it.
I should say it. Okay. So we actually are transitioning to open alpha. Very, very soon. This is going to be on October 13th is our target right now, Tuesday, October 13th. So what does open alpha mean? That means that we are actually going to switching the game so that players will be able to get into the game for free. So the packages for Steam Early Access are still going to be available. They're going to be awesome packages that you can get all those cool rewards. We're not going out of Early Access. But we are opening the floodgates, so to speak, allowing a whole bunch of new blood to get into the game and really, change the cycle of the game that we're at. We really think that, things have kind of stabilized. We've got a lot of good feedback. We still have a long way to go, but it's time to bring new players in and see how they enjoy Dungeon Defenders too.
It should be an exciting time for both us and our community.
Yes.
Lots of new faces will be joining us.
It's going to be a really, really big deal for us. So that's going to be happening on the 13th. So, feel free to start getting the hype going with all of your friends that were like, I don't know if I want to pay. I'll wait for it to go free to play. We are going to be doing that switch. We are not planning to do a wipe. So I know a lot of people are talking about that. And our plan has always been to not do wipes. We still may do strategic wipes now or in the future, rerolls for things about certain types of content. But like we told you guys from the beginning, we only want to wipe when it is absolutely critically necessary. Because we know a lot of people put a lot of time and investment. I know there's been a number of people who are like, no, they're going to do all these crazy wipes. That's not our plan. Our goal is to really protect the investment. The only reason we did wipe again is because we had to. There's a data structure.
It was a very different loot system that we had to do a wipe for.
Yep. So that's happening. Some people are like, I want to be wiped.
Will there be a wipe again for the PS4?
Right now, our hope and plan is to, do a wipe again for PS4. And how we're going to do that and announce it. We want the PS4 players to get the same opportunities, the exact same words as PC. The PS4 came out right before the wipe, first wipe again, so they don't have all the data structure changes, so we're going to be announcing how this is going to work on PS4, how the reward structure will work, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. So that's the big conclusion announced.
Yep.
So hopefully everyone's excited about that. And you guys are going to have a really good time with all the new players coming in about 2 weeks. So, woo!
So, about 13 minutes for 2 pages worth of questions.
Oh my lord. We have the lightning round.
Do all the lightning round questions first.
Yeah, let's do
What?
the lightning
No,
round.
that doesn't make any sense.
Why?
You
Just
can't
start off.
you can't
small
start with the lightning
appetizer.
round and then end with the.
We can do whatever.
Oh my gosh, this is just chaos. No structure. No one knows what's going on. Dogs and cats living together. Mass hysteria. I don't know. All right, we'll do the lightning round first. Whatever. Screw it. All right, so we never did the lightning round. Whatever. We
It's
go
all right,
into it.
it's all right,
Ready?
Brad.
Ready?
Yep, let's
Ready?
do it.
All right. First question: can we get faster pet hatching?
Yes.
Yes.
It's already in.
Can we? Well, yeah.
Let's
good.
go.
Can we have a larger pet storage
Yes.
area? Yes, you will one day. Hopefully soon. Well, I understand. Oh, this person understands. Well, I understand that pets are in their first few passes. It currently feels unrewarding and too long to raise a pet into an elder state, taking over 1 million gold. And people aren't all millionaires. Will you ever reduce the amount of food pets require to level up?
Maybe. We are doing some changes for pets, but it's not necessarily that change. Sorry.
We are going to make changes to make pet leveling up easier. Well, how that is, whether it be more money or whatever, we're not sure. With the current auto loot feature, pet food gets prioritized along the least valuable items and often gets shunned out when I leave a map. Due to all of my 7 premium bags, only 7? Come on, get some more. All my 7 premium bags being full, could you please make pet food be prioritized before anything else rather than after?
Yes, we have some changes planned for that.
Yes, we're going to allow for sorting options, and that will one day come. One day. I've reached the bag limit. That's sad. But it takes less than 2 maps to fully fill 7 premium auto loot bags. I thought we allowed more than 7 bags. We allowed 12. You can get more bags. You can get 12 bags, I believe. And I'm only left a handful of bags for my own items. Will the bag limit in the future? I'm guessing it meant will the bag limit be extended? Yes, it will be. Last year we talked about different weapons like heat-seeking bullets for Huntress, and I was wondering if something like that will happen to Monk secondary attack. Probably. We decided not to bite that off when we did the first round of stuff. We may do that in the future. Crap. Reading. Any possibility of transmog system in the future?
Maybe.
We're not super keen on the transmog stuff right now. We've talked about it a little bit.
Go with maybe.
Let's go with maybe. Oh, sorry. Maybe. Conviction. Maybe. I am confident in not knowing.
Lightning
Also, will it ever be possible to use regular unlocked costume pieces in combination with the outfits that we buy?
No, that one is a no.
That one's a no-ish.
Unfortunately.
It's a no-ish.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
Because we talked about maybe trying to find a way to allow certain mismatch. It's complicated because of the way our skins are created. But
currently,
I don't think the artist would
Right.
really want to do that.
well,
Right.
we had those conversations, and we're trying to see if there's a maybe we can way to do it without breaking the style of everything. But it's complicated, so probably not, but maybe.
Mhm.
We're so committal.
we are.
We really are. Also, will it ever be possible to use regular unlocked costume pieces in combination? Oh, very
Yeah,
good.
we already said that.
I'm good at asking the same question twice in lightning round. I know it's soon, but have you considered or just thought of adding DD1 maps to DD2?
Yes, we have.
We had considered it. That's
Lightning round.
all right. Well, that doesn't really say much. Okay. Will we see a score system for each map? Oh
Yes.
dear God, yes, and hopefully soon. Oh man, I want the score system, don't I? I never talk about it though.
Nope.
I never.
Never.
Are you planning to add a hardcore mode?
Yes.
I thought we already.
No, we didn't. It's not live.
Oh, it's not live.
Yep.
I played the hardcore mode. You guys, have you played it?
I have played it.
What did you think?
It's quite hardcore.
It's hardcore.
Now let's go.
Maybe too hardcore.
Maybe.
Maybe. It deletes your hero after you die.
Don't
Like,
listen to it.
erases it, and there's nothing else. And then it deletes
Don't-
all the other heroes.
don't
So
listen to it.
there is no option for. I'm sure people are.
Totally.
Yeah. There is no option for toggling the crosshair, but it removes all. No, there is an option for toggling the crosshair, but it removes all the action icons as well. Any plans on separating them so we can still see the upgrade icon without having a big crosshair? That's a good idea.
Maybe.
Maybe we should do that.
Answer that with maybe.
No, I think we should do that.
I think we should do that too, but
I mean, when we do it, it may be. I mean, we should add more customization options.
we
to
should.
that. I think we should.
lightning round, Brad.
I think we should
Lightning
commit
round.
to something and say that we will probably.
said it.
Worst
Yes.
lightning round.
Worst lightning. God.
No. I've had worse lightning rounds.
You've been involved in all of them, I am sure.
Everyone loved my lightning rounds. They're cheeky and intimidating. Or maybe not. I don't know. Okay, so anyone say anything? And so half Europe as well. Okay, cool.
Everybody.
Oh, see, they like it. They know that when I come on, I have a tendency to talk maybe a little more than I should, and they get all excited, and they're like, everyone else is just so like mums the word.
You saw like the one full mast on there. Missed all the minimal masts.
Oh,
you missed,
really?
You missed all the.
Oh,
Yeah.
no one likes my explanations. That's too bad. All right, so
You guys ready for the long forms?
well, we're gonna get like 3 of them out. Some people liked. Now I'm sad. I am led to believe you are discussing the hero deck internally. Nah. Could you share your thoughts? See, sarcasm strong. Could you share your thoughts on the subject externally? Design goals, technical constraints, options under consideration, sadnesses, pains, whatever.
Yeah, the thing that we are looking at a lot when it comes to the hero deck is, especially when we kind of added the builds, there's becoming a much stronger need, especially in solo play, to carry more than one of a very specific hero. We are aware of that. People generally, kind of the gist of things is people are kind of okay or fine with how the hero deck works when you're playing in a group, because that's a cool choice. Who do I bring? Who do you bring? But in solo play, there are some potential issues there. So we're focusing in on kind of that distinction, and we're basically taking that angle and trying to figure it out from that perspective.
It's a really tough problem set, honestly, because I know I mentioned this in a forum thread. There is a lot of mixed commentary on it.
Mhm.
We're actually working right now to try to do another refreshed survey so we can get the opinions of people that are not necessarily the vocals on the forums. Because when we go talk to people, I'm not exaggerating. Like we go to conventions, we go talk to press, we go like just talk to individuals on streams or whatnot. We see a lot of people that actually like the restraint a little bit. So it's difficult for us to figure out. It's not that we really have an ulterior motive. I know some people think we do. We don't. I mean, sometimes I do, but not for this one. But it's more what's the best thing for Dungeon Defenders 2 as a whole, and that's not always easy to figure out with a question like this. Is so complicated. So there's that. By the way, I want to say in my defense about the lightning round. Everyone say lightning round is supposed to be fast.
Oh my gosh.
There's different types of lightning. Maybe when I'm on, it's a ball lightning round. And ball lightning kind of bounces around and lingers, and it's a really pretty unique thing. So maybe, Brad has the ball lightning round, everyone else has the normal lightning
Look at that.
round.
We're still wasting time not answering
Yeah.
questions.
Yeah, okay, let's go to the next one. The monthly missions are such a grind, and they seem catered to hardcore elite players instead of average casual players. Why is this the case? Will the philosophy execution behind monthly missions remain the same, or will they be adjusted to more casual players in the future?
Tyler actually made an interesting post. I'm not sure if it got approved, but I'm fairly certain it did on our forums about that. Our intention is not for it to be to kind of alienate certain people. The goal of the monthly quest is for that month to give you a goal that you strive for to achieve. And that kind of works for a certain group of people, but for more casual players, it kind of doesn't feel very fair. Eventually, we'll hit
And
that.
it shouldn't take a day.
Yeah,
It needs to take
It
some
shouldn't
time.
take a day. It's obviously a monthly quest. It's a goal for a long period of time, but it should obviously not require you to come in and play every day for a whole lot of hours in order to hit that goal.
Right.
So we're looking at that, and we're going to potentially expand on how we do these monthly missions in the future.
Yep.
And we'll see.
That's
Talk
a good
to you
answer.
guys about doing that.
Will there be any changes to the grind from 40 to 50 XP / time-wise? Any chance we can move Insane down to the free play area to give us something to do in this gap? Also, I'd much rather try and fail on something harder than AFK through hard from 40 to 50.
40 to 50 has always been a little trouble spot for us. There are some things that we're thinking about doing. Kind of maybe looking towards things like the daily mission system, or potentially more ways for you to earn boosts or things that kind of help you through that range. We are aware about it. We're trying to currently figure out what's the best solution that we want to try out first.
Yeah, you know, it's funny because we just got done doing this. So we use metrics. Surprise. We actually pay attention to what is happening from data side. And we just got done doing this really deep analysis on the campaign flow, where players are dropping off, how long it's taking them to go through campaign missions, which quests they're getting stuck on. We actually made the changes to Valley because of one of those observations. So we're just gathering data and trying to figure out how to look at free play. And a lot of that, I think, is going to be oriented towards what that question is talking about. So expect that as we dig into those metrics, and especially when these new free players come in, we start seeing their behaviors, we can find good, hopefully exciting changes to make about how you go through those maps. From the forum discussions, I can tell it is not so clear for a lot of players how exactly the pet affection levels work. Are they based on completed / played waves, or is difficulty also take a part here? Are the higher affection levels harder to get? Can you please explain it to me, or to us? Do you have any plans of way? Well, whatever. Just answer that much.
So the way kind of affection works, it doesn't get harder as the affection level, as you get higher affection level. It's the same criteria that you need to achieve. It is based on how often you play with your pet. But something to keep in mind is when we did do the pet implementation, there was a lot that we were getting in there, or there were a lot of changes that we were doing. So some of the things that we wanted to do with affection level we couldn't do. We do intend to take another look at some point at pets overall. There are some lingering issues that we want to fix, one of which is looking at affection, potentially communicating that a little better, and potentially giving you multiple ways to level that up faster.
Yep. I want to answer one more question. This one will be a brief answer, and then we're going to wrap the stream up with a quick wrap-up thing. So, Onslaught is harder than Survival in DD1, yet its loot and experience doesn't justify the difficulty. Instead of scaling with the enemy levels, it stays the same. Is this being worked on? I will say, actually, this came up in a social tavern about a month or so ago, and Dan, I watched the social tavern, and afterwards, him and I had a really good conversation about that. We agree that the rewards in Onslaught don't necessarily completely reflect the difficulty, especially as you get deeper on. Was that one person with 9.5 hours? So, I mean, we're not sure exactly. Honestly, I'll be honest with you, we haven't figured out what's the best way for us to solve that problem yet. But we have talked about it. We probably are going to be doing something in the near future to help fix it.
Yeah, to clarify a little bit about that, we've talked a lot on the stream about Onslaught rewards. This kind of comes up often. We are aware that there are some issues with it. We have some ideas in the design team on how to fix it. And we do actually have on our backlog an Onslaught V2, which is mostly focused on how do we get people excited about the rewards again. It's a little premature to talk about it, but just give us some time to eventually get around to it.
Wait, did you guys not get the pet affection answer? It's like, it says like the stream glitched or something.
Yeah, they need to get the answer repeated.
So the answer
man.
to the pet affection level.
Do you want me to ask the question again, or do you want to just, just freaking do it again?
So the way pet affection kind of works, it doesn't get harder as the pet affection level increases. It's still the same criteria. It's all about you playing with your pet. But something to kind of keep in mind is when we did the pet changes, there were a lot of changes that we're trying to get in time, and some things were not as great. In fact, the entire pet system, there's a good chunk of changes that we want to do to it. So eventually there's going to be another pass on pets, and affection level is going to be one of the things that we look at to potentially give you guys maybe multiple ways that you can increase that affection level.
Honestly, I think we're going to do an entire relook at all pets, like the evolution system, how you gain. I think we talked about the pet food and how much that costs. We're probably going to do a temporary fix for that because that's a real big pain point for players right now. But expect that just like some of our other systems have evolved, probably in a couple of months we'll sit down and go, you know what, we've gotten a lot of information about pets. We're getting these, we've tweaked a couple things. Here's the feedback we're getting. Now let's sit down and take that and try to make it the next version.
Yep.
So it feels even better. So expect that you're going to see some good revamps there.
Yep.
Cool. So that's the end of the question part. Thanks everyone for attending. I'm going to summarize a couple real big things. So first off, first part of Ascension comes up next week on Wednesday. So that's the big first patch. The second part of Ascension will come up on October 27th. At least that's the target right now. Don't quote me if we decide to change it, because sometimes we do things like that. And to recap, this patch that's coming out next week is going to be a little bit tough. We have a lot of experiments in this patch. We're trying things. We call it fast failing. We want to get these out there to you people, out to our players, so they can look at them, give us feedback, and then we can change them very quickly. We've been doing that kind of unofficially for the last couple milestones or patches. This time we want to really let you guys have some visibility on what our attitude is. We know that things may be broken. I will guarantee that there's going to be balance problems, things that are broken. Someone will probably find some weapon where you can one-shot an ogre or something, for all we know. We know that the tower experiment is going to be a little bit iffy, and we'll get feedback from that and then make changes. But that's the point of being in early access for us, and to get this audience. So that's coming up next week on Wednesday, which is super exciting. And then remember, mid-October, cool skins, including the awesome Dark Arts Apprentice that everyone was freaking out about earlier. And then also the limited time only Skelly skins. Skeletons. I don't even know how to say that. Skeletons. And yeah, it's gonna be a fun month in October. Plus the awesome influx of new players on the 13th. So hope you guys had a lot of fun on the stream today. I know I'm ball lightning guy or whatever, but hope you guys had a great time. Thank you to iPass Butter for rocking it on the playing side. He's it looks, if anyone watched the IGN interview that I did with Phil, it's a lot harder than you think, and Phil had some struggle moments there. So cheers to Butters for knocking it and playing it really well today.
Fantastic job.
He does a great job.
Every week.
We always give him some slack, but
Yeah, because I lose a lot.
Yeah.
I got a lot.
We all love you, Butters. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. It was a lot of fun. We will see you next Friday. Until then, have fun playing DD2.
See ya.
Bye, everybody.